apologize. I didn't realize I was muted. But welcome, everybody, to Intensity Broadcasting. My name is Josh Holl. This is the Original Rebels Racing League Holl Heating and Sheet Metal Sunday Night Truck Series. My name is Josh Holl. This is the second round of the playoffs here at Chicagoland Speedway. See some new names up in the top of the board here as well. We see Willie Howells, currently the fastest driver here in practice. Bo Ledbetter sits back in second. Chris McLean, Cody Boehm, and Dylan Bates, your top five. Of course, Jonah Colbert has already locked himself into the next round of the playoffs with the win last week. See the 68 of Eric Tracy out on track as well. He's making his way down on the pit road. As we saw in the first race, that pit road can be tricky. We also see the 043 of Kai Shappett in this race as well. We just saw him run the first race, and now he's here in the second race. Big field here tonight. We've got 33 trucks getting ready to go racing here as we see Kai go four-wheeling through the grass as time expires here in practice. It looks like I forgot to pull the points here, so let's bring the points onto the screen for you here tonight before qualifying gets underway, and we can see maybe apologize for the wait. There we go. Jonah Colbert at the top of the board. Let's get rid of that tower here for a second. With the win, locking him into the next round, Eddie Smith, Chris McLean, Charles Stevens, Daniel Cunningham, Brandon Wallace, Cody Boehm, Mickey Isaac, Christopher Heiner, Josh Oswald, Josh Lokovich, and Tracy Passons is the order. Of course, Passons, Lokovich, Oswald, Heiner, Isaac could all use a win here tonight to lock themselves into the next round. As we get the screen back, full screen for you. We see Kai making his way out onto the track. And he's going to slow down here as Cody Boehm is the first driver to put a qualifying lap down. Eddie Smith as well. Josh Oswald, Willie Howells. Saw Willie was fast in practice. We'll see what he can do here in qualifying. Boehm comes down the backstretch towards turn number 3. Of course, the backstretch here at Chicagoland is not straight. It's not a back straightaway. It has a bit of a curve to it, so the drivers are going to be constantly turning left. So watch for that tonight as we get ready for 100 laps here at Chicagoland. Boehm currently up into the third position. Eddie Smith just went top of the board. And now Daniel Pope up to the top of the board. See Richard Allen here making his way down to the front stretch and across the stripe. And Allen is going to go top of the leaderboard. Here's the 81 of the ravishing Rip Grube, currently sitting in 8th. Let's see who else is out on track. We see Kai slowing down again. Mickey Isaac comes across the line. His first lap will be good enough for 16th. Let's see what he's able to do here on his second lap. Down into turn number 3. As I mentioned, Isaac needing a good race here tonight, so he doesn't have to have as much pressure on him going into Bristol. And Isaac is going to qualify P11. Kai still rolling around the track. Charles Stevens Jr. just making his way to the stripe to take the green flag. across the line, and Junior is going to jump up into the 10th position on his first lap. See if he's able to improve on his second lap. Down through turns 3 and 4. And to the stripe, and Junior is going to come across the line into the 6th position. Kai Shappett still just rolling around the track. Aaron Adcock on his second of 2 laps. Coming down the backstretch towards turn number 3. And down to the stripe. And Adcock is going to jump up into 15th. And Kai is continuing to roll around the track. Chris McLean comes down into turn 3. He's coming to take the green flag, checkered flag to finish up his qualifying attempt. McLean jumps up into 27th. First, we'll see what he's able to do here on his second lap. You see McLean now coming off of turn number 4 down to the stripe. And McLean is going to jump up into the 4th position. And Kai is still just rolling around the track. Alex Veith coming to the stripe. Just took the white flag. Through turns 3 and 4. And as Veith comes off of turn number 4, across the stripe, in one of the ugliest trucks I've ever seen, Chicago Blackhawks, Veith is going to run down in 28th position, with Aaron Johnson left to qualify. Kai has called it quits. Also, Kent Hundley comes down across the stripe. He's going to go P10. So our last 2 drivers out on track, Aaron Johnson and Fred Moreau. As Johnson just took the green flag. Running that high line through turns 1 and 2. Trying to get that speed built up to put down a good second lap. Down off a turn number 4, coming down to the stripe. And Aaron Johnson is going to go P11. I think that's going to do it for qualifying here. We got about a minute and a half before we start gridding up. So, of course, we want to thank all of our great sponsors and partners here tonight in the Original Rebels Racing League. Of course, Holl Heating and Sheet Metal, peg leg felts, Cofield Asphalt Refinishing, Thunderstruck Super Series, Kinder Farm and Ranch. Of course, we'd like to thank all of our great sponsors here as well and partners here in Intensity Broadcasting. Don't forget to check out intensitybroadcasting.com for hats, t-shirts, coffee mugs, not just of your favorite Intensity logos. We've got some novelty t-shirts. We've got our new underwear up on the site as well, and our new Kinder Farm and Ranch collection under the Original Rebels tab. So you can check that out at intensitybroadcasting.com. Race EPI for racing setups and coaching. Visit raceepi.com. And of course, our great partner, the Butt Kicker. Of course, Butt Kicker is an established and trusted leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel ultra-low frequency sounds. Their products are endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers. The patented design makes them incredibly accurate, powerful, and virtually indestructible. The Gamer Plus is the new and improved sim racing haptic that reproduces immersive, accurate, and powerful sim racing, flight sim, and gaming effects. To check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out which one's right for you, visit thebuttkicker.com. Of course, the Butt Kicker has more than just gaming haptics. They also have little subwoofers you can put in or around your couch for watching movies, listening to music. So you can check all that out, the full line of products, at thebuttkicker.com. But we got trucks gridding up right now, and that will bring us to our Peg Leg Pull Award. Tonight's Peg Leg Pull Award will belong to the 8 of Bo Ledbetter, with Richard Allen starting to his outside in position number 2. Daniel Pope will roll off third with Eddie Smith in fourth, and Chris McLean and Jonah Colbert, your top 6. Cody Bowman 7th, Charles Stevens Jr., he'll roll off from the 8th position with Eric Tracy and Kent Hunley rounding out your top 10. Aaron Johnson will roll off from 11th with Kyle Roberts in the 12th position. 13th will be Dylan Bates with Daniel Cunningham rolling off P14. Ravishing Rick Rube will roll off from 15th with Mickey Isaac in the 16th position. 17th will be Josh Oswald and Jason Lottridge in the 18th position. Aaron Adcock and Charlie Elmore will round out your top 20. Ray Page will roll off 21st, William Griffith in 22nd. Row 12 will be Josh Lokovitz and Jacob Bohm. Drew Jones will roll off 25th with Brandon Wallace in the 99 and 26. Willie Howells, who is fastest in practice, rolls off 27th, and Christopher Heiner from the 28th position. Spencer Gaze 29th and Alex Veith in 30th, followed by Tyler Rice, Kai Shappett, and Fred Moreau making up the rest of the field here tonight at Chicagoland. Again, as I mentioned, a few new faces here tonight. Paul Passion says that he's watching here tonight. Thanks for joining us. Again, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Twitch, we do appreciate you joining us here tonight on Intensity Broadcasting. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe so you know anytime we're live here on Intensity Broadcasting as the trucks are making their way around to grid up and we get ready to go green flag racing here at Chicagoland. Of course, your playoff drivers will be denoted up in the ticker. They'll be highlighted in red, except for Jonah Colbert. He'll be highlighted in yellow for the fact that he's already locked himself into the round of 8 with the win last week. So we'll see how he runs this race here tonight, tries to get some bonus points for the next race, or if he just tries to ride it out and stay out of trouble. So as the field comes through turns 3 and 4, we get ready to go green flag racing. We're waiting for that pace car. Take that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. Kevin Kinder says, hey, Mr. Holl, let's go racing. I agree. 100 laps here from Chicagoland Speedway. Pace car is in. Bo Ledbetter brings him down to the starting zone. Green flag is in the air. We are racing here at Chicagoland, and a big field it is as they come down and roar down into turn one for the first time. Richard Allen up on the high side. He's got Daniel Pope looking down to the inside. And Chris McLean, one of our regulars, right there behind. So a couple new faces, as I mentioned, right here up at the front, as they're all racing for the lead as they come down the backstretch for the first time. And so far, Bo Ledbetter getting the jump off the start to get himself, and he's going to come across there. 4 wide behind. Ledbetter is going to come across to lead the first lap. We see Jonah Colbert stuck there in the middle. Again, he is already locked in to the round of 8. I don't know why Jonah's name is not highlighted in yellow, so let me go ahead and take care of that. I had the same problem in the first race. I think I know exactly what the issue is, but let's get that fixed. There we go. Kevin Kinder says, big field of drivers. Sure is. You see this battle back here is Jonah Colbert. Now he's highlighted in yellow, indicating that he is already locked in to the round of 8 as Daniel Pope stuck out there, down there on the bottom, starting to slide backwards a little bit. As he's going to follow Hundley down to the bottom, and they're 3 wide. Almost 4 wide. Kyle Roberts making some moves up on the high side. We see Charles Sayers Jr. sliding through here as well as they come down into turns 1 and 2. And we're only on lap number 4. Imagine what this is going to look like coming down to the wire, especially a little further back in the pack. Drivers are fanning out all over the place. You see the 118 of Jacob Bohm down on the low side and 3 wide racing up in front. So we got up in front, we've got single file racing as Bo Ledbetter continues the lead over Richard Allen and Eddie Smith up into the 3rd position. And then Kent Hundley and Kyle Roberts round out your top 5. Chris McLean, the first driver in a 2 wide position, trying to get down underneath Charles Stevens Jr. As that second group is now starting to catch that front pack. Sorry about the pop-up there on the screen. You see the battle for the lead starting to heat up with Richard Allen. As Eddie Smith to the outside, just behind we see Kent Hundley and Kyle Roberts side by side. As Bo Ledbetter continues to hang out front. Now the battle for the lead. Eddie Smith, ooh, with some contact in the middle here. As we're 3 wide down in the turn number 3, we see the 22, Richard Allen, falling back a little bit as Bo Ledbetter now has Eddie Smith battling with him for the lead. As they're side by side coming down to the stripe, Ledbetter just barely sneaking out in front of Eddie Smith. Eddie, though, trying to fight back on the bottom and lock himself into the round of 8. Kyle Roberts has cleared the mess behind him as that gaggle of cars continues to jockey back here. Ken Hunley down on the low side. Daniel Pope up on the high side. I apologize, I'm still trying to learn some of these drivers here. Jonah Cobert sitting back in the 10th position, not really pushing hard. Again, he's already locked in to the next round. Eddie now falling behind Bo Ledbetter just a little bit. In the battle back here between Cody Bohm and Richard Allen. So Allen's falling back and continue to fall back to the 8th position. His backward slide is continuing. Just behind Allen is the 27 of Dylan Bates. 09 on the screen, but 27 on the ticker. Then you see Jonah Covert just behind. So this battle is heating up here for the 7th position. Bohm trying to make that high lane work, and he is going to clear the 22 of Allen as they go down the front stretch. And now we see Dylan Bates up on the high side trying to get around Allen this time. Back up front, Bo Ledbetter continues the lead over Eddie Smith. Eddie currently looking for a way around this 8 machine. And just behind Chris McLean and Kyle Roberts are side by side. Now Roberts holds on to that 3rd position, but McLean is trying to find his way around that 35. And even though we've got a huge field of drivers, as you see the field come off of turn number 2 and down the backstretch, which is not a straightaway, as you can see, quite curved there down the backstretch. Huge field of drivers. And this big mess here in the middle as they are still racing like it's the last lap, and we are just coming to lap number 15. Cody Bohm makes a move now down underneath Daniel Pope. And we also see the 09 of Dylan Bates using a high line. Oh, gets a little loose there. Now he's going to tuck down to the low side, trying to get underneath Cody Bohm. Just in front, we see Kyle Roberts under attack by the 02 of Ken Hunley. And Hunley with the big move on the low side, trying to take over that 4th position. With Daniel Pope right behind as well. A little bit further back, we see Aaron Adcock looking down underneath Mickey Isaac, trying to take over the 15th position. They have Eric Tracy right in front of them as they come down to the stripe. And even with the big field of drivers, so far a pretty clean race, as Kyle Roberts still has Kent Hunley right there on the back bumper. As they come down the backstretch, and Hunley's going to take the big move down to the inside, trying to take away that 4th position as they come down into turn number 3. Daniel Pope right there as well, as they're still almost running 3 abreast. They're running 3 different lines behind, so already we're seeing a lot of movement through the field. Drivers running different lines. Cody Bohm taking a big move down to the bottom to try to get underneath Daniel Pope. Oh, some contact between Pope and Bohm. And way up on the high side, you see Kyle Roberts just sliding backwards. Looks like Roberts may have worn out his tires as they are 3 wide down across the stripe, and not a whole lot of room. We saw this one in the first race. We're running tight through the apron like that, or through the tri-oval. Can spell disaster, but they were able to hold on and make it work as Kyle Roberts still stuck up on that high side. He's got Jonah Cobert right behind. Cobert showed like he had a speed, but he had to back out of it as they come down into turns 3 and 4. Cody Bohm now taking a look down underneath Dylan Bates trying to take back that position. That's for 6th, right behind Richard Allen, trying to sneak his way into this mix as well. Side by side, door to door through turns 1 and 2. Bohm had to lift just a little bit to keep from getting tight into the side of Dylan Bates. And Richard Allen trying to sneak through here as well. See Richard Allen, that 22 machine, a new name, looking underneath Kyle Roberts, trying to take that position away, but just not able. We see some damage to the left rear of Kyle Roberts as well, so that could be slowing that truck down with that bit of damage there as they go down into the corner. Right in front, though, we see Kent Hundley battling with Eddie Smith. Eddie Smith has fallen back to the 4th position as Chris McLean has gone up into 2nd. But Daniel Pope and Eddie Smith battling. This is a battle for 5th. Now Daniel Pope taking a look down underneath Hundley, trying to take that 3rd position away. Pope trying to slide job up in front of Hundley, but just not able to. Now he's going to clear the 0-2 down into the corner. As they come off of turn number 2, Hundley's going to have the momentum up on that high side. Much like Vegas, that high lane is really in play here. Vegas kind of the sister track to Chicagoland. Although out of all the 1.5-mile cookie cutter tracks, Chicagoland is the most unique because it does not have a straightaway down the backstretch. As they are 3 wide with Eddie Smith down on the bottom, he has to lift, keep from Dylan Bates from coming across his nose. All that's going on, Bo Ledbetter continues to lead. Over 2nd place, Chris McLean, who is a 2.5 back. And that's 2.5 seconds back to the rest of the field as Hundley and Bates continue to battle side by side. And Eddie Smith right here in this mix along with Richard Allen. Well, further back, Charles Stevens Jr. trying to make some moves. He just got passed by Daniel Cunningham. See Cunningham with that yellow banner and spoiler. That says that he's in the playoffs here as well. Also indicated by the red banner on the ticker. Some great racing here throughout the field. Kyle Roberts continuing that backward slide though, since having the damage to the left rear, which I'm sure he'll probably take his quick repair when they come down pit road for their pit stop. Eric Tracy, Daniel Cunningham side by side. Cunningham using that high lane, that momentum up on the high side to try to get around Tracy. And Kyle Roberts right here in the mix. Also Aaron Adcock, who's not in the playoffs, but he's hanging tight right here, back in the 16th position. You see Mickey Isaac and Charles Stevens Jr. side by side. Up front, the field's pretty much back to single file. Teammates Eddie Smith and Jonah Colbert were just rode to notice the tail. Of course, as I mentioned before, Jonah is locked in to the next round. Eric Tracy, Daniel Cunningham continue to battle, and right behind we see Kyle Roberts and Charles Stevens Jr. Cunningham finally starting to get a bit of an advantage here on the 68 of Eric Tracy as they continue to run side by side. Back up front, Dylan Bates continue to lead over Kent Hundley. Daniel Pope out in front, and then it's, again, 2.5 second lead to Chris McLean. Then another 1.5 seconds up to Bode Ledbetter. So the field really starting to spread out here. As we take a look here from the blimp. At the lead that Ledbetter has over Chris McLean. And then from McLean back to Pope, and then the rest of the field, how they're starting to string out a little bit this part of the race. And tires are starting to go away a little bit too, as Jonah Colbert is coming down onto pit road. Oh, Jonah's been up into the wall. Heavy damage to the right side of that 31. As he comes down pit road, he's going to get that truck fixed up, but unfortunately, we saw that in the first race tonight. Colbert hit the wall. Unfortunately, it looks like the same thing's happening again, as Aaron Johnson and Eddie Smith are side by side, and Johnson, excuse me, is going to take over that 7th position. So much stiffer competition here tonight than we've seen in recent races. As Ken Hundley is trying to run down Dylan Bates for that 4th position. Cody Boehm side by side with Eric Tracy. Tracy is going to get around Cody Boehm to move up into the 8th position. Well, I'm sure we're just a few laps away from pit stops, as we see Kent Hundley and Richard Allen, as Cody Boehm now makes his way down onto pit road. As I was mentioning, we see the damage to the right side of his truck. As Allen and Hundley go side by side. So green flag pit stops should be starting momentarily. As Allen now moving his way around, move himself up in the 5th place. And now Daniel Cunningham making his way down onto pit road. Josh Oswald, another one of our playoff drivers, down onto pit road. Ray Page and Davy Jones also coming down onto pit road. So green flag pit stop starting to cycle through here. At the bottom of the screen, you'll see the names of the drivers on pit road, the first 3 letters of their last name. When you see the word pit flashing, that means they're on their way to their pit stall. When it's solid like it is now, that means they are in their pit stall. When it switches over to a time, that's how long their pit stop was. And when they disappear, that means that they have exited pit road. Daniel Pope and Richard Allen. I'm sorry, this is Daniel Pope and Dylan Bates battling as Bates is able to move himself up into the 3rd position. So Jacob Bohm now on pit road. Charlie Elmore now on the pit road as well. So as more and more drivers make their green flag pit stops, Chris McLean running in 2nd now makes his way on the pit road. As more and more drivers make their way on the pit road, under green flag condition, it's more and more of an opportunity for drivers to make a mistake and speed on pit road. We saw that in the first race with one of our playoff drivers getting on the pit road a little too hard and speeding. I believe it was Jonathan Cofield. Yeah, Cofield sped on the pit road, ruined his night. He ended up finishing in the 25th position. Bunch of other drivers coming on pit road. Dylan Bates, Daniel Pope, Richard Allen, Kent Hundley, Aaron Johnson, Eric Tracy, Aaron Adcock, Kyle Roberts, Josh Lokovitz, all coming out on the pit road as Bo Ledbetter continues to stay out and lead. And now here we go back down. Our leader now on the pit road. That's going to give the lead over to Mickey Isaac. Isaac comes down on the pit road. That's going to give the lead over to Fred Moreau. Well, it lasted longer than I thought. 2 snaps. Not sure what Kevin Kinder is referring to there as we see Fred Moreau making his way around. The trucks just making their way off of pit road. Brandon Wallace, one of our playoff drivers, currently runs in the 2nd position. Willie Howells, who showed so much speed in practice, was our number 1 on the leaderboard in practice, now runs in 3rd. And Alex Veith, again in that hideous truck, in the 4th position, but he's going to be hitting pit road. Locks him up coming in and just barely able to slow down to make pit lane speed. As Brandon Wallace has Daniel Pope and Richard Allen going by, as Wallace is now currently leading this race. Looks like he might be coming down on the pit road this time by. No, Wallace is going to stay out there. We see Kent Hundley getting his lap back, and just behind him, it looks like Aaron Johnson in the 21, which it is. So 3 drivers still on track yet to pit. That's the 99 Brandon Wallace, the 48 of Jason Lottridge, and the 043 of Kai Shappett. And then when it cycles through, Chris McLean will be your leader over Eddie Smith and Bo Ledbetter, who's battling with Eddie Smith, which will be this battle for 2nd once pit cycle has completed. And Ledbetter is going to move himself right around Eddie Smith. And he's going to try to chase down the 5 of Chris McLean. But at this moment, Brandon Wallace still up. Now he's coming down on the pit road. So move Brandon Wallace out of the lead. Looks like he might have came in a little hot there. That's going to give the lead over to Jason Lottridge, with Kai Shappett right behind, trying to battle with this lap traffic. And the battle for what will be the lead when everybody comes down pit road between Ledbetter and McLean. McLean up on the high side, Ledbetter down on the bottom. Jason Lottridge makes his way down on the pit road, leaving just Kai Shappett out there to pit. We are just 2 laps away from halfway. So far, so good, so clean. Green flag racing since the beginning of the race. As we've got a side-by-side battle for the lead as Kai Shappett now makes his way down onto pit road, which will complete the green flag cycle. And these two currently battling for the lead. So now Chris McLean out in front of Ledbetter as we got a battle a little bit further behind between Richard Allen and Cody Bohm. This is a battle for the 5th position as Allen has now taken it away, and now Daniel Pope trying to take away the 6th position from Bohm. So Cody Bohm falls back into 7th as Bo Ledbetter continues to run down the 5 of McLean. They're side by side for the lead. Ledbetter using that low lane, trying to get. If you were in the cool crowd back in the day, you didn't clap, you snapped. There you go. Now I get you. I don't know, I thought maybe you were watching the football game or something. But Chris McLean now gives up the lead to Ledbetter. He's able to get around. Although McLean's trying to fight back down on the low side. Daniel Pope trying to run down Richard Allen. Daniel currently in the 5th position. A little further back, Aaron Johnson running down Jonah Colbert. Is Johnson taking a look down to the inside of the 31? Johnson's going to take over that 8th position. Josh Oswald, Ray Page in a battle back here. This is a battle for 13th and 14th. Oswald, one of the playoff drivers, where Ray Page is not, as Oswald's going to take a look down to the inside. And Oswald's going to slide up in front of Page and take over that 13th position. You see Aaron Johnson and Kent Hundley. As they ride around nose to tail. And Aaron Adcock trying to move around Jonah Colbert as well. So Jonah struggling here tonight. Again, fortunately for him, he's already locked in to the round of 8. As he falls back into the 11th position. Aaron Johnson still riding all over the back bumper. I'm sorry, Aaron Johnson has Kent Hundley all over the back bumper, excuse me. And then we see the 91 of Willie Howells, who is a lap down. Howells his pit stop was just over 2 minutes, which means that he did speed on pit road, so he is currently a lap down. So currently 4 drivers who are at least 1 lap down. Jacob Boehm, Ravaging Rick Rube, Willie Howells, and Eric Tracy, all 1 lap or more down. We have a battle heating up between Fred Moreau and Kyle Roberts. As we see Rick Rube making his way down onto pit road. Right in front of Roberts, though, there is quite the battle going between Mickey Isaac, Charles Stevens Jr., and Fred Moreau. Isaac up into the 15th position, trying to keep his playoff hopes alive. Right behind, we see Charles Stevens Jr. side by side with Fred Moreau. And how about this battle here between Kent Hundley and Cody Boehm? And we see the 91 of Willie Howells, who is a lap down right behind, and Aaron Adcock coming up into this picture as well. As these 2 battle side by side with the lap truck right behind. Hundley able to clear Boehm with a little bit of help from the 91. And now Aaron Adcock trying to get around Cody Boehm as well. Down into turn number 3, Aaron Adcock trying to use that low lane advantage to clear the 78 of Cody Boehm, and he will off of turn number 4. So move Aaron Adcock up into 9th. Back up front, no surprise, Bo Ledbetter continues to lead over 2nd place Chris McLean. McLean, though, has Dylan Bates running him down, currently sitting in the 3rd position. That's almost 2 seconds back to 4th place Richard Allen. And behind Richard Allen is the 16 of Daniel Pope. Eddie Smith runs back in 6th with Aaron Johnson in the 7th position. Kent Hundley is currently running in 8th with Aaron Adcock in 9th, and Cody Boehm round out your top 10. Mickey Isaac trying to get around the 15 of Moreau. As he's going to take a look down to the inside into turn number 3. Kevin Kinder says that 41 truck sure looks familiar. We've always seen Ray Page and Garrett Kinder run very similar looking trucks. As Ray is currently up in the 14th position. Little battle back here between Alex Veith and the 12 of William Griffith. Kai Shappett right here in the mix as well. Ray Page now has Moreau taking a look down to the inside. And Moreau's going to take away that 14th position, puts Ray Page back into 15th. But Moreau or Page fighting back hard on the high side. He's got Mickey Isaac coming to lend a hand with a little bit of drafting help. And then right behind, we see Charles Stevens Jr. trying to run down Mickey Isaac. There is a lap truck in the mix here as well. That's Rick Rube down on the low side. So that 81, currently a lap down, was just on pit road. Actually, there's a couple laps down, was just on pit road. On fresh tires, and you're seeing the difference that fresh tires are making as that 81 is just able to slice through traffic. Cody Boehm now down onto pit road. Not sure if that's a scheduled stop or unscheduled stop for the driver of the 78. We'll see if anybody else follows suit and comes down pit road soon. Jacob Boehm also on pit road. Jacob is a few laps down, though. He's been on pit road for a couple times already. And now Eddie Smith down onto pit road. So these are scheduled stops for our leaders. Daniel Cunningham coming down onto pit road. Josh Oswald, Ray Page, Mickey Isaac, Charles Stevens Jr., Spencer Gay, all on pit road. So after 68 laps of green flag racing, we have our second round of green flag stops taking place. With Bo Ledbetter continuing to lead over Chris McLean by 2 seconds. This battle between Alex Veith and William Griffith continues the battle as we see more. You see the trucks making their way off of pit road. Of course, those drivers are going to come through this battle like a bat out of hell with those brand new tires. See Charles Stevens Jr. and Ray Page, Mickey Isaac already getting back up to speed as Kyle Roberts now on pit road coming to get his service done. When we cross the line this time, we'll have just 30 laps to go. Brandon Wallace also on pit road early this time. Bo Ledbetter now making his way onto pit road. I think he was a little too fast coming in. I think Ledbetter might have just thrown the race away as Richard Allen comes in, Aaron Johnson, Kent Hundley all on pit road. And we'll take a look to see how long Ledbetter's pit stop is here. As you can see down at the bottom of the screen, LED. Oh no, he was able to get down the speed, so he is down and away. Chris McLean, currently your leader, as Aaron Adcock comes down onto pit road. When is McLean going to make his way down to pit road? As we ride along with McLean, we listen to him, see if he's saving any gas here. Doesn't sound like he's lifting at all as he's keeping that truck almost wide open all the way around the track. Ooh, Chris McLean runs up on the 35 of Kyle Roberts and almost lost it right there. Almost ran into the back of the 35. That really spooked him. But able to keep going as Dylan Bates now is right behind the 35 of Kyle Roberts. And William Griffith now on the pit road. And here comes Chris McLean and Daniel Pope on pit road as well. So that's going to give the lead over to the 09 of Daniel Bates. Daniel Pope on pit road. Chris McLean also on pit road, as we mentioned. Dylan Bates. Just let the 20 of Charlie Elmore by. Elmore was just on pit road. We know he's got fresh tires. So just 7 trucks are currently on the lead lap. Dylan Bates out in front over Kai Shappett, Alex Veith, Dave Jones, and Tyler Rice. Chris Heiner, Jason Lottridge. The only trucks left on the lead lap as we see Bo Ledbetter right behind our leader, Dylan Bates, trying to get back onto the lead lap. Ledbetter taking a look to the high side. And he will get around Dylan Bates to put 8 trucks on the lead lap. Right behind we see Ray Page. Ray Page, though, I believe he is a couple laps down. Yeah, he is quite a few laps down, as he's trying to work around our leader, Dylan Bates. And caution on the track. Oh, right in front of our leader. That was Bo Ledbetter. Ledbetter is wrecked right in front of the leader. Caution is out. That's going to bring up our first Kinder Farm and Ranch Record Rewind. And let's see what happened to Ledbetter, who was dominating this race earlier. We see him down on the low side, trying to get around the one. That's contact with the one. Christopher Heiner makes contact with Ledbetter, and that is what brings out this caution as we can ride along with Ledbetter just to see exactly how quickly this happened. You hear the heavy impact there. One last view of it. Ledbetter way down on the bottom. Heiner up on the high side. And Heiner was coming down just a little bit. Ledbetter was coming up. I chalked that up to a bit of a racing deal. Dylan Bates makes his way down on the pit road. And what this does is this changes this entire race. Because right now there are only 9 trucks on the lead lap. Take a look at the scoring pylon here. That's really not going to give the see if we can make this with drivers on pit road, it makes it kind of tough here to get the exact gaps here, but should be able to see it here on the top of the screen with the ticker here. once we get the field all caught up. Kevin Kinder says Ledbetter came up. Yeah, it looked like Ledbetter came up a little bit. It's one of those bam bam. In slow motion, it's really easy to put the blame. Unfortunately, when it happens so quickly, as you know, in the car, sometimes it's hard to place the blame on one driver immediately. Well, there you have it. Nonex says, ran the apron too long, tried to arc the corner. I would agree with you. So Eddie Smith making his way down to his pit stall. And Dylan Bates will come back out as your leader. And you can see the line of lap trucks actually in front of our leader, Dylan Bates. So Dylan as Kai is the red truck in front of the green truck. That's Kai Shappett in the green truck. And all those trucks in front of him are all on the tail end of the lead lap. So Chris McLean, Ray Page, Jonah Colbert, Cody Bohm, Daniel Pope, Aaron Johnson, Aaron Adcock, Kent Hunley, Daniel Cunningham, Josh Oswald, Fred Moreau, Charles Stevens Jr., Mickey Isaac, Spencer Gay, Brandon Wallace, Josh Lokovich, Charlie Elmore, Richard Allen. All those drivers making their way back, racing around the track right now to try to get themselves back to the tail end of the field. As you can see them coming around. Those drivers did stay out to get in front of the leader. So we will have quite a few more drivers on the lead lap than I initially thought. So 24 drivers on the lead lap as the 51 Alex Veith has a little connection issue. He's currently running in the third position. All those fast drivers, though, way back in the back of the field. So green flag is back in the air. Dylan Bates gets the good jump over Kai Shappett. We have just 17 laps to go. Christopher Heiner runs back in fourth, and here comes Dave Jones. Thought about making a move down to the inside of Heiner. Right behind we see the 22 of Richard Allen, who is a lap down. He's trying to get his lap back the hard way. Dave Jones stuck in the middle. Here comes Kyle Roberts down to the inside. He's got the 91 of Willie Howells up on the high side as Dylan Bates continues the lead. He's pulling away from second place, Kai Shappett. Alex Veith in third, but he's got Christopher Heiner trying to make a move. Oh, and Alex Veith having another connection issue, and Heiner right there. Nodex says carrying a test speed, probably thought he would clear him. It happens. Well, it happens to fast guys, not me. I mean, we've seen you show some speed this season. Sure you'll be up there again real soon. Eddie Smith in the sixth position. He's got Tyler Rice right in front of him. The 22 of Richard Allen is a lap down. Currently running back in the 25th position as Eddie Smith is trying to work down underneath Tyler Rice to take over that fifth position. And our points leader, Jonah Colbert's making his way down onto pit road. Fortunately for Jonah, as I mentioned a couple times, he is locked into the playoffs. So with just 14 laps to go, Dylan Bates continues to lead over the 043 of Kai Shappett. It's really going to shake up the playoff standings here, as Christopher Heiner and Eddie Smith, I believe they're the only, nope, McLean has made it back up into 8th. So only 3 trucks who are in the playoffs currently in the top 10. Kai Shappett trying to run down Dylan Bates here as they come down into turn number 1. We have just 12 laps to go. Christopher Heiner in a bit of a battle here with Alex Veith. Veith currently up in the 3rd position. Here comes Heiner trying to take away that 3rd position. Veith trying to hold on to a podium spot. Here comes the 22 of Richard Allen again, who is a lap down. Just trying to get himself back onto the lead lap. Chris McLean moving around the 48 of Jason Lottridge. McLean now up to the 7th position. Does he have enough laps with 10 laps to go to get himself back up towards the front? Heiner now has the 22 of Allen below him. Eddie Smith right there as well. Now with these two battling side by side, it's allowed Alex Veith get a little bit of a lead, and this is Alex Veith's home track. The Illinois native from Rushville, Illinois, trying to have a podium here on his home track. With less than 10 laps to go. Eddie Smith now looking down to the inside of Heiner. He's trying to push the 22 of Allen right along. They're now side by side for the 4th position. And Chris McLean is battling with Jason Lottridge. Oh, a little bit of contact between McLean and Lottridge. They go down into turn number 3 there, 3 wide. With the 8 of Bo Ledbetter trying to get himself back up towards the front, even though he is currently a lap down. But run 3 wide with Chris McLean. Kyle Roberts right here as well. As Eddie Smith has now cleared Christopher Heiner. And he's trying to run down Alex Veith to get himself up onto the podium. Dylan Bates out front coming across the line to come to 6 laps to go. Kai Shappett sits a second back. And that's another half second back to the 51 of Alex Veith, who has a car between him and Eddie Smith, as Veith is trying to hold on to this podium position. Bates to the line, just 5 laps to go. With a very clean race, only 1 caution, which came out on lap 81. Tyler Rice in a battle here with Christopher Heiner. This is a battle for 5th and 6th. So Rice trying to move himself up into the top 5. And now Alex Veith has Eddie Smith trying to get around him, take over that final podium position. As we see the 22 of Allen able to clear. Nope, I thought he was able to clear Veith, but not yet, as they are running up on the back bumper of Kai Shappett. Eddie now taking a look down to the inside of Alex Veith. He's got Allen right there in front as they come through turns 1 and 2. And Veith able to, gets a little loose there. Sorry, this turn 4. Got a little loose there as we got 2 laps to go. Veith's going to try to force in 3 wide. He's going to tuck in behind Allen. Now he's going to side draft and pinch Eddie down through turns 1 and 2. Eddie washes up the track just a little bit. They are still side by side for the 3rd position. They are catching Kai Shappett, who runs in 3rd though, or 2nd though. So we'll see who's able to hold on to this final podium spot. But Dylan Bates comes across the line. He's going to take the white flag. Eddie Smith now down to the inside of Alex Veith. As they go side to side, don't make contact into the corner. And that's going to allow Eddie Smith to get around Alex Veith and take away that final podium position. Down into turns 3 and 4, Dylan Bates, for the final time, comes off of turn number 4, and Dylan Bates is going to get the win here tonight at Chicagoland. Kai Shappett brings it home in 2nd, and Eddie Smith comes home P3. Alex Veith comes home in 4th, and Christopher Heiner, your top 5. But Dylan Bates is going to come down to the front stretch, and he's going to celebrate his win here tonight, using the pit strategy to get himself out front, and stays out front. And with Dylan Bates winning the race, there is no guaranteed driver locking themselves in to Bristol. So for 11 drivers next week, Bristol is going to be a do or die race. The only driver who feels comfortable going into Bristol is Jonah Cobert. As we take a look at the official results. And Dylan Bates, again, gets the win here tonight. Kai Shappett comes home 2nd. Eddie Smith in 3rd. Alex Veith and Christopher Heiner, a couple great runs for Dark Horse Motorsports. Tyler Rice brings it home in 6th. Chris McLean is 7th. Davy Jones in 8th. 9th was Jason Lottridge. And Aaron Adcock brings it home in 10th. Aaron Johnson, 11th, with Ken Hundley in 12th. Fred Moreau in 13th. Brandon Wallace and Daniel Cunningham rounding out your top 15. 16th was Charles Stevens Jr. Josh Oswald comes home 17th. Cody Boehm in 18th. 19th was Mickey Isaac and Josh Lokovitz in 20th. Charlie Elmore 21st. Spencer Gay in 22nd. Richard Allen, Daniel Pope, and Kyle Roberts round out your top 25. Ray Page 26th. Bo Lettbetter in 27th. Ravishing Rick Rube in 28th. William Griffith comes home 29th, and Willie Howells in 30th. Jonah Cobert 31st, Jacob Boehm 32nd, and Eric Tracy rounds out the field in 33rd. As we get ready to talk to our top 3 Starting with your third place finisher tonight. Hang on a minute. Oh, man. So it looks like we're going to start with our third place finisher, Jonah number 2, Eddie Smith. Eddie, how you doing tonight?
Hey, what's happening?
Man, great job tonight coming home P3. Kind of a wild turn of events there at the end. That yellow coming out with all you drivers, a lot of drivers a lap down, able to get the wave around and work their way back through. And man, that the caution coming out during that green flag cycle must have really threw a monkey wrench in a lot of people's race here tonight.
Yeah, it worked out in my favor though. I got the lucky dog somehow. I don't even know how I got the lucky dog. I don't know if it's because iRacing assigned it after I think the guy in front of me. I can't remember who it was, but he was actually the last car on the lead lap, and but he was involved in the incident, and iRacing for some reason gave it to me. So was able to get that fast repair, get back on the lead lap and get four tires. And man, it was just moving forward, man, just rolling.
For sure. The exact ruling in iRacing is if you are involved in the incident and you're in the lucky dog position, it does go to the next driver. So that's how you got the beneficiary, which worked out in your favor, as you said. But just some great racing out there. Some new drivers out there showing a lot of speed. It must feel good to have a lot of drivers to race around and have hard racing like that.
Heck yeah, man. Um anytime you can get more competition, especially super clean drivers like what we had tonight. We had a lot of new folks, but I mean from my perspective, people I race around, super respectful, super clean, raced hard on the outside of us. Like I mean, there's a couple of guys we were just super close and didn't make contact. So that early in the run got into the wall. That really kind of set me back. I lost a lot of momentum, fell back to a sort of a draft pack. Was feeling pretty good, trying to stay just at least close with Bo, um, and that kind of put me behind. So just had to work on strategy to get back up to the front, and just got lucky with that caution. A lot of fast guys stuck on old tires, so uh, yeah, a lot of fun. I really enjoyed racing the new guys. Made that third place a little bit more sweeter.
So next week we move on to Bristol. You're not officially locked into the top 8 there. How you like your chance at Bristol, and do you have any worries coming in next week?
Not worries. I go. I'd like to continue to be in the playoffs, but I'm not going to be too upset about it. I'm not dead set on winning a championship this year. I just want to get in there and race hard and have fun. And tonight's a good example of that. So points racing, I'm not really doing it. Trying to go out there and get wins, but you feel pretty good about Bristol. 30, 35 drivers at Bristol. Who knows how that's going to play out? But I'm gonna show up for it and have a good time. That's for sure.
Well, Eddie, before you let you go, and you want to thank any shots you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, shout out to everybody that raced tonight. Sorry to Alex. I'm sure we'll talk later, but um, there on the last lap, just racing hard. We had a lap truck up there that was kind of getting into the mix too, so just kind of threw a monkey wrench in it. And I think entering in turn one, trying to get, especially on older tires, trying to get a little bit better entry. And I think he was trying to hold me down from getting into turn one. I was expecting him to go out to the wall, and we made a little bit of contact. So he's definitely upset, and I don't blame him. But hopefully we'll talk about it and we'll get over it. But sorry to him. I didn't want to make contact. I was just trying to make the entry to the corner. So I definitely want to apologize to him. But JC Motorsports, everybody that all the admins that put in a lot of work, and all the new guys, man, all the new drivers that are out there. Having a lot of respect and racing hard and clean, but being fast and giving us a carrot to chase, man. It was a lot of fun. And thank you for broadcasting.
Thank you very much. I know Alex trying to get the podium at his home track here tonight, but great run here tonight, and we look forward to see what you can do next week.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Josh.
Have a great night. So that was your third place finisher, Eddie Smith. Let's bring in your second place finisher, Kai Shappett. Kai, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Man, what a run for you tonight. The strategy paid off in your favor, getting yourself up onto the podium here tonight. Ran the first race. You might have learned a little bit that helped you out in the second race. Was that the case, or was it just a matter of having fresh tires at the end with the caution falling your way?
So the first race, really, it was just getting stuck at the wrong place at the wrong time. And then when I came in to race Rebels tonight, I was trying to honestly stay in the back all night, just trying to learn, not get in the way of the playoff guys with so many guys coming in tonight. But yeah, really, that caution at the end really helped us out. And I mean, I don't think I would have been up there without it. I was running in the back most of the night. So
Yeah, for sure. And had a great run though. Had some mighty fine racing up there as well. It looked like Eddie and Alex though were starting to run you down a little bit. Were you kind of concerned if the yellow was to come back out, or we had a green white checker that they might have been able to get you there at the end?
oh, definitely. I know there's a lap car that was kind of fighting in the mix too, and it kind of confused me. But oh, if Eddie and Alex would have had a clean slate to me, I definitely don't think I would have had the tire. I was trying to keep up with Dylan so much, I just wore him out in those first 10 laps on the restart. I don't think I would have had anything for Eddie or Alex when they caught up.
Well, a great job here tonight, coming home on the podium tier P2. Spoiling it for these playoff drivers a little bit here tonight. So before we let you go, anyone to thank, any shots you got to give here tonight?
Oh yeah, definitely. You guys up at Intensity Broadcasting, always putting on a great show and a great broadcast for us. Reaper Racing, Pale Horse, Jerky Pro, Benelli Shotguns, Rebels Racing, and definitely Griff for letting me come over and race with the guys tonight. It was definitely well-rounded and fun night.
Was definitely a fun race to call. And look forward to the rest of the season. Good luck, Kai. And it was great talking to you. Have a good night.
Appreciate it, man.
So that was your second place finisher, Kai Shappett. And let's bring in your winner tonight here, Dylan Bates. Dylan, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Gotcha.
Man, great run here tonight. Getting the win in a maiden voyage here in the Rebels Truck Series. First off, congratulations on that. And spoiling the playoffs a little bit, not able to lock in a driver here after the race here tonight, but showing the speed there at the end, and that caution really came out at just the right time for you. Was that kind of the goal, trying to maybe gamble a little bit and hope for that caution to come out and just fell your way?
Yeah, that was kind of the plan. I knew I had to do something different if I was going to catch Bo. He was kind of checked out there. I kind of buried myself in qualifying, so I was playing catch up all day and got within 2 seconds there before we pit, I think, and then the first green flag cycled, and he made a pit stop there for the second stop, and I kind of gambled and stayed out, and he happened to get wrecked, and I inherited the lead and never looked back, I guess.
For sure. And man, showed some speed here tonight. All the newer faces in here showing some speed. That's a great way to come out and really show who you are. So great run. Overall, though, the racing was real tight all the way through the field. Were you surprised it was as clean as it was, as tight as you guys were racing for the first 80 or so laps?
I was blown away with how clean it was, man. We were running 3 wide, 4 wide down the back straightaway, drafting up, and kind of playing cat and mouse games, and no one really made significant contact to speak of. I was really impressed and had a lot of fun.
Awesome, man. Well, it's always fun when you get the win here. And next week we move on to Bristol. How do you like your chances at the little half-mile track in Tennessee?
I definitely am a fan of the shorter tracks, but Bristol's a different animal. It's going to be just keep your nose clean at that place because there's going to be a lot more wrecks, and probably going to need your fast repair there.
For sure. And before we let you go, anyone to thank, any shout-outs you got to give here tonight?
Oh, just all the guys back at Superior Performance Motorsports, Pope and Traves and all them guys. They work hard on the open setup stuff. It's fun to come run the fixed setup stuff and like this with you guys and just have a good group of guys to race with. And we'll see you next week.
Awesome, man. Well, good luck next week, and I'm sure we'll talk to you again soon.
Sounds good, man.
Have a great night. So that was your winner, Dylan Bates, here in the Holl Heating and Sheet Metal Rebels Truck Series. Again, we want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Twitch. We do appreciate you joining us here and spending your Sunday nights with us. If you're watching the broadcast back live or on demand later on, we do appreciate you joining as well. Don't forget to join us on Tuesday night for our truck doubleheader as the Doghouse Racing League and SCSRA have their doubleheader on Tuesday night. We look forward to seeing you again soon. Again, congratulations to Dylan Bates. And from everybody here at Intensity Broadcasting, we want to say thank you for joining us. Have a great night. And until next time, as our boy Atlee Atman Weiss would say, over